Well, quite an interesting week. Another weekly rotation in the books. Some newcomers to the collection. Some old favorites I haven't reached for in a while. And some that have become immediate favorites that I've worn a few times now. It's week number 75. So stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday is one of my immediate favorites. This is one of the newest fragrances to my collection. One of my favorite blue fragrances instantly, and probably my favorite light blue fragrance. I'm talking about YSL the Eau de Toilette. I did pick this up from Kingdom Fragrances for 68 bucks. The price was just too good to pass up, and I blind bought it. I had a decant before of the EDP. I still will get a bottle of the EDP, but I have fallen in love with this fragrance. Oh man, super fresh. Those aldehydes, it's got that touch of sage. It's super mass appealing. It is on the synthetic side, ambergris dominated, which is just basically a saltier version of ambroxan essentially. Solid performer, not a beast, but definitely far from weak. Just as good of a compliment getter as the EDP. It's just not quite as loud. Man, get used to seeing this one probably once a week in the rotation for the next few weeks, because I've really been enjoying this one. This one's been featured quite a bit on the channel here recently. Even did an individual review on it because I'm really digging this one. And on Sunday, that's what I wore. Eau de Toilette. And then when I got out the shower, the fragrance that has caused me a little bit of controversy on my channel in the last week or so. Of course, I am talking about Mont Blanc Explorer. See, here it is in the rotation. I don't hate the fragrance. I do wear it. I just don't think it's worthy of the hype that it has gotten. I do think it's a good fragrance. I just don't think it's a great fragrance. It's solid. You know, I'm not a big fan of the opening. Do like the dry down. The wife loves the way this one smells, so there you go. Wife, instant classic for the wife and as far as new acquisitions to the collection go. I'm okay with it. I wear it, as you can see. It's in the rotation. Average to slightly below average performance on me. I had a bunch of people tell me they get 8+ hours. It's a beast on their skin. It's all fine and dandy. I'm glad you guys like it. I understand why a lot of people love the fragrance. I'm just not in love with it, you know, and that created some flack apparently, you know, because God forbid I not think something's as hype worthy as the hype it has gotten. But hey, that's just my opinion, not the end of the world. And who knows, I may wear it again next week out the shower that night. Mont Blanc Explorer. Moving into Monday is a straight up room filling beast of a blue fragrance. I'm talking about Davidoff Cool Water Intense. Powerful. You want to grab someone's attention? Throw some sprays of this on. Sub $40 range, 30 some odd dollars. We'll get you a bottle from discounters, eBay sellers, places like that. Bubblegum blue fragranceness with touch of amber and coconut, believe it or not. Faint coconut, but detectable. Ambroxan not listed in the notes, but it's an ambroxan bomb. It really helps this stuff push. Just a few sprays will get you plenty of attention. If you want to fill a room, you just be a little bit more liberal with the sprays. Voila, there you go. Beast of a blue fragrance in every sense of the word. Performance, scent, the whole nine. It's super mass appealing, as blue fragrances are. Smells great. If you're a younger guy and you don't like cool water because it's too dated for you, old man smell and all that good stuff, which I still like the original. But if you don't, the only thing this shares in similarity with the original is the bottle shape and mold, and the name does not smell anything like it. This is definitely a modern, mass appealing blue ambroxan bomb. And that's what I wore. Davidoff Cool Water Intense. Then out the shower that night, this is one of those light blue fragrances that I kind of specifically wear out the shower because there's so many other great options when I'm in the mood for a light blue fragrance. If you don't know what I'm referring to when I say light blue fragrance, blue mass appealing fragrance, just more citrus dominant, a lot fresher than your typical blue fragrance, which is exactly where I categorize Acqua Essenziale, the original from Salvatore Ferragamo, as well as what we just spoke of, YEDT, which YEDP falls into just the blue fragrance category My opinion, my ratings, my ranking system, obviously something I came up with as far as this light blue stuff, but I digress. Basically a incenseless Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette type of smell. Not bad, not great, but good, serviceable. Smells good, get you some positive attention, not a beast. You know, on a budget, great fragrance to add to your collection. A good cheapie, a very good cheapie. Not a great fragrance, but a good fragrance. Kind of like how I feel about Mont Blanc Explorer. Blasphemy, how could you compare them to? Not comparing them to. Just saying I kind of feel the same about both. Where they're good fragrances, I wear them, just don't reach for them all the time. And out the shower is primarily where I wear this one. And on Monday night, that's exactly what I did. I wore Acqua Essenziale, Salvatore Ferragamo. Moving into Tuesday is potentially one of my new favorite evening scents. I say potentially because I haven't worn it on a dinner date with the wife yet, but she definitely loves the scent DNA. I got 2 big thumbs up and a smile when she smelled it. I'm talking about Boss the Scent. This is the Absolute Flanker. Very provocative type of scent DNA. Very, very sexy fragrance. More so than Private Accord, even though I find Private Accord's much more of a gourmand than this. That's chocolatey coffee with Menenka and leather. This is just, the Menenka comes off a bit more boozy to me. The ginger's a warmer spice, when ginger's typically a fresh spice, I find most of the time. The way it's blended, it's just, and the vetiver's a little smoky here. It really does they did a great job the way this is blended and how rich and full of a scent it is. It has a lot of body, a lot of depth for as simplistic of a fragrance as it actually is. It says 3-note breakdown, and I believe it. You know, normally I don't believe that kind of stuff, but in this situation, I really do think there might only be those 3 notes because they all smell distinctive in this fragrance. You can pick all of them out, and the way they blend and the characteristics of them are out of the norm, but still believable at the same time. Lovely, lovely fragrance. Definitely a really good one. And that's what I wore during the day, was Boss the Scent Absolute. And then when I got out the shower, it was time for a good shave. So I grabbed my Zaharoff Signature Noir Shave Soap and Aftershave Splash. I ended up going with the Zaharoff Signature Noir Shave Set. Definitely really dig this one. It's a little bit sweeter than the actual fragrance, which I did also give myself a few sprays. I did do 2 additional sprays, one on each side of the neck as well, to kind of enhance the scent profile of the Aftershave Splash. Definitely a great combination. I urge you to try the shave sets if you like traditional wet shaving type of products, shave soaps, lathering with a brush, the whole 9. Quality products made by Gentleman's Nod for sure. They have all 3 of the Zaharoff fragrances, Signature Pour Homme, Noir, and Royale. With Royale being the lightest, this being the sweetest, and Pour Homme's probably the best one. It's the best shave set for sure, but I definitely have been reaching for this one more so than the other 2. And like I said, I always make sure to give myself 2 good sprays from the fragrance, because why not? Out the shower that night, had a good shave. Zaharoff Signature Noir Shave Soap, Aftershave Splash, and the fragrance. Moving into Wednesday, a channel favorite that I haven't worn in a little while, and man, it's one of those fall in love with it every time you wear it type of scents, with Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. I don't wear it a lot for as much as I enjoy the fragrance, but boy, I'll tell you what, every time I do wear it, I fall in love with it all over again, I'm telling you. It's so good. It really is. And look, I love Sauvage. I do. There's been a stretch where I wear Sauvage more. It's just an easier reach based on where it's at. It's out the box. This one's always in its box. It's not first in its line as far as how I have them arranged for the Luna Rossa line on my shelf. It's not as easy to reach for, even though it's easier to reach for as a fragrance, if that makes sense. It's based on its logistics where it's not as easy to reach for. Beautiful. People think it doesn't perform that well when really you're just going anosmic to it, because it's quite long lasting and powerful. The scent trail is pretty strong on this one. It's got a really good sillage. I get every bit of 7 hours out of this one. Consistent sillage for several hours. It's one of those deals where you might think it's gone after 2 hours. You're just going anosmic to it. Anosmia is a real problem when it comes to sharp metallic ambroxan fragrances. Big culprit right here. Compliment Factory, though, boy does it churn them out. When I wear this one, I always get a compliment. I really do. I just don't wear it enough. That's the sad part. And during the day, that was what I went with. Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. Like I said, a channel favorite. Then out the shower on Wednesday and on Thursday, I spent a little time with Zaharoff Chrome Legend, recent pickup from Marshall's, one I procrastinated getting for a long time. My first impressions of it were kind of meh, but when it dries down, it's actually quite lovely. Been enjoying it. I almost wore it 3 nights in a row, to be honest with you. Very synthetic, can smell like a synthetic mess up top. I get where you may think that. I kind of think that at first as well. But when you let it chill out, just calm the hell down. Let this fragrance, you got to tell it, just settle down, bitch. Calm down for a little while. And once it does, it's actually quite lovely. It's pleasant. It's not as sharp. It's still a synthetic fragrance. It's not as messy anymore. It really settles in. It becomes lovely. There's almost like a lemony grapefruit type of smell that comes in with that light tea note. It's actually a very nice fragrance once it dries down, and it lasts a good while. I haven't been clocking the performance on it, but I find myself a few hours in still smelling wafts of it very easy. I've been spraying it, not heavy, but more than I normally do. I normally do 4 sprays out the shower, but I've been spraying my forearms and my shoulders with this one so I can get a nice little bubble going, and it's been giving me a nice little bubble around me. So if it's one that you've kind of been skeptical to get in the past, it's cheap. You can get a 40 ml for 15 bucks like I did from the rack stores. It's actually quite nice to wear. I'm enjoying it much more than I initially thought I would. Out the shower on Wednesday and Thursday, Zaharoff Chrome Legend. A polarizing fragrance, don't get me wrong. Unisex, it's herbaceous chamomile tea. It's musky, it's powdery, it's soft, not a heavy projector. It's a subtle type of fragrance. It is Gucci Memoire d'une Odeur. I dig this fragrance. Kind of wish I had more than 60 ml. Wish I had a 100 ml, to be honest. Polarizing, like I said, not everybody likes this fragrance. Definitely, I can understand that. I can see why. But it's a chill, laid-back type of scent DNA. It's off the beaten path. That's kind of the route Gucci, as a fragrance house, their fragrance division, has gone as of late, the last 2 to 3 years. And I dig that. I like that they've done that. They don't go the mass appealing route. They kind of just do their own thing, made by the famed perfumer Alberto Morillas, which, fun fact, on my Scent of the Day post for this, he just so happened to like the picture. I thought that was kind of random. He's never liked any of my Instagram Scent of the Day posts before, which tells me, I think, and look, I didn't have it, I did have it hashtagged. He had to check the hashtag because he's not following me. So that leads me to believe he's a little proud of this. This might be one of his favorite creations as of the last few years. Just a guess, just an assumption. Could be wrong. That's just what the lines I read between anyways. But I'm getting off subject. Very beautiful. Laid back. Smells like a nice herbal cup of tea that's cooled down, not warm or anything like that. It does get a little powdery and musky on my skin. It's got a little floral aspect from this jasmine that's in there, but it's never comes off as a real flowery type of scent. Very soft. Like I said, I've been getting about 6 hours on my skin, and what I've been getting out of it's been very enjoyable. Wife really digs this one too. Her exact words to me when she smelled it on my neck was, "Ooh, you smell pretty." I get that one a lot from her. She thinks the scent smells pretty. She tells me I smell pretty, is what it is. And during the day, I was smelling pretty because I was wearing Gucci Memoire d'une Odeur. And like I said before, out the shower that night, Chrome Legend. So I was all in my Gucci feels at that point, having worn Gucci the day before. So I pulled out another Gucci fragrance that I haven't reached for in a while. Super underrated right here. Made to measure. The black sheep of the Gucci fragrance house. Kind of the black sheep anyways. Woody Plum. Smells pretty put together, not overly sweet. The way the plum is done, another one, not a heavy fragrance, a soft projector. More of a soft fragrance, 5 to 6 hours. at best in longevity. Not a strong pusher, but a beautiful scent. This is a lovely scent. Don't knock this one until you try it. If you can sample it, I urge you, sample it. It's for a plum fragrance. It's got it going on. It smells put together, made to measure, the way the box looks and everything. It works. It's not a scent profile you would think when you look at the notes or you hear plum dominated fragrance. You wouldn't think it's a well put together fragrance for, you know, an Oxford type of situation, but it smells like a well put together guy. It really does. That's the outfit that I think of. The scent profile provokes that type of setting, work environment, professional, but still not so serious that you can't wear it with a t-shirt sitting around the house, you know, at the same time. But underrated. Definitely digging this one. Haven't wore it in a while. I've had it for a long time. I definitely refreshed and got like 5 hours out of it. Not a great performer, but I have a lot worse in my collection. And during the day, definitely was enjoying this. Gucci made to measure. And then when I got out the shower that night, went ahead and pulled out Kenneth Cole Reaction once again. That lovely watermelon juice, terrible performer, but it smells great. 2-ish hour fragrance at best. Perfect out the shower, good refresher, gym bag type of stuff. I've said a lot of things about it before because I've been wearing it here and there out the shower. Definitely digging it though. Glad to have it back in the collection. Out the shower that night, Kenneth Cole Reaction, and actually on Saturday as well. Speaking of Saturday, finally on Saturday, was one that I've been enjoying quietly off camera, that I've been doing a lot of test sprays and just haven't done a full wearing yet. So it was definitely time, and I went with Givenchy Gentleman Only Absolute. Lovely fragrance. Performs almost to the level of Spice Bomb. Has a little bit richer and spicier of a smell, hence the Absolute name. It's a little bit fuller. God, it smells so good. So good. Underrated. Doesn't get any love anymore. It did years ago. It's been around since like 2014, I believe. It's not anything new. But man, if you haven't worn this one in a while, it's time to revisit. If you've never tried it, because you just didn't really know much about it, try it. If you can sample it, sample it. If you like spicy fragrances, Blind Buy safe in my opinion, as long as you like spicy fragrances, because it's a damn good spicy fragrance. And I mean spicy. More so, I'm spraying it again, more so than Spice Bomb. Because look at the recording of this, it's late Saturday night. I wore this all day, and I actually refreshed about 6 hours in, and it wasn't time. I didn't need to. I just wanted to get that scent bubble nice and strong again and get back to that top note of all that spice. Lovely fragrance. I'm really digging this one. Underrated flanker in the Gentleman Only line and from Givenchy as a whole, for any, whether it's the Gentleman line or the Gentleman Only line. Underrated. At one time it wasn't. At one time it got a lot more love. It's time to bring some love back for this one. Damn good fragrance in my opinion. Definitely digging this one. Even though it's warming up, that don't stop me from wearing spicy fragrances. It's not too overbearing to wear in the heat because it was definitely warm today. And on Saturday, I wore Givenchy Gentleman Only Absolute. And like I said prior, out the shower, Kenneth Cole Reaction. Well, that was this week's rotation. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. Would you wear this week? You know I'm itching to know. Make sure to sound off in the comments and let me know what your rotation looked like. Did we match? Did you wear any of the same fragrances this week? When I say match, it doesn't have to be the same day. I mean, did somebody else out there wear Givenchy Gentleman Only Absolute this week? What a coincidence that would be. I'd love to find out down below. And until next time, I will say if you get any of the fragrances featured in this video and you give them a spray now, there's a good chance you might thank me later. Have a good one, guys.